with your host, Andrew Romanella.
The first problem is with the owner of the Carolina Panthers. Okay, you're an idiot. Seriously, I don't think I'm good enough in this spot based on my own personal mental health, so I can't continue. What's going on, everybody? Welcome into another edition of The Rome Show here on 12ozsports.com, broadcasting live on YouTube, X, and Roku TV. I am your host, Andrew Romanella. I got you for the next 30 minutes or so, and it is a Wednesday, which means we have our Hump Day headlines, which let me find that sounder for the people.
Uh-oh, guess what day it is? Guess what day it is?
You could probably guess it. We have our Hump Day headlines. A lot of football for the people, including the head coaching carousel in the National Football League. You had the oldest head coach in the league get hired over the last few days. You had probably the least experienced candidate in the league get hired. You had some stupidity at the Dallas Cowboys press conference, which we will get to in a second. And you had some sketchiness in Jacksonville, in the state of Florida. Florida being really sketchy between Tampa Bay and Jacksonville and Liam Coen. So we got to get to that as well. Got to catch you up on some daily bananas. Got to make some picks for you. And if there's more time, we will talk professional golf, but a lot of football and necessary. Tune into the show, The Rome Show 1, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, X, whatever the social media is. Follow us and follow the mothership. The mothership's 12OZ Sports. If you want to get in on the action, YouTube or X Live, and we can hear from you. Okay, let's do it. It is...
Uh-oh, guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? Hump Day!
That's right. We got our Hump Day headlines. Your first Hump Day headline comes out of Dallas because we have to talk about the Cowboys. Now, outside of about a week and a half ago, deciding that they were no longer going to keep Mike McCarthy as the head ball coach in Dallas, okay? Winning seasons outside of his last one overall, but no playoff success, which is exactly what every team's looking for. So the Dallas Cowboys turn to Brian Schottenheimer, okay? Son of Marty Schottenheimer, longtime NFL head coach. He's been with the organization for a few years, and he has bounced around the league. Not, I don't believe, necessarily in a bad way, but he has moved around the league as he's continued to move up the coaching ranks. So a lot of conversation has gone on, okay, about the Dallas Cowboys, about Jerry Jones, about Stephen Jones, about Dak Prescott, Micah Parsons. What is this organization? Is it an organization that is more worried about the dollar sign, or is it an organization that's more worried about winning football games? Okay. And what does Jerry have in the tank? Like, should Jerry Jones even be in the building of the Dallas Cowboys facility, or should he just be at home enjoying the rest of his life, owning his pride and joy from afar, and handing the keys to somebody else? That somebody else, by the way, I don't even believe should be his son, Stephen Jones, because I also think that he is incompetent at running a football team. Okay, I'm going to play some comments for you here, both from Stephen Jones and from Jerry Jones at the press conference for Brian Schottenheimer becoming the head football coach of the Dallas Cowboys. And you tell me if either of these two gentlemen should be running a professional franchise. And furthermore, if you're a player on this roster, if you're a coach joining Schottenheimer, if you're Schottenheimer himself, isn't there like at least a miniature amount of doubt in your head as you listen to these two dudes speak, and you're like, who's running this franchise? These aren't football people. This isn't a football franchise. This is a business. And it's a damn good one, by the way. We make a lot of money. We always have people here. Dallas Cowboys fans exist everywhere. It's a damn good business. But it's not in the business of football. The Dallas Cowboys are in the business of making money. Here are Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones at the opening press conference for Brian Schottenheimer.
You look at your competitors in your conference, what it's going to take to have success, whether that's a 49er team or whether that's an Eagle team. Obviously, the 49ers, had the injury bug situation. And, in this salary cap era, if that injury bug hits you hard enough, it can be difficult to overcome. Certainly, you look at the blueprints. Everybody does it different. Kansas City's doing a great job bringing young guys along and, those type of things. And like a team like Philadelphia, you certainly look at the way they're doing it, where they went out and, did some things with some veteran players. You have to take a look at that. And then you got to find exactly what fits your core, your DNA with our players and what we have and what gives us the best chance to compete against. Certainly you start with your division, the Eagles, the Commanders and the Giants, and then you stretch that out, and what does it take to beat the 49ers, to beat the Rams? Certainly those are all things that come in the mix.
What? That's the director of player personnel and assistant general manager, or whatever else stupid title he has? What? None of that made any cognitive sense on explaining to me how the Dallas Cowboys are going to get better. What's the Dallas Cowboys process? And are we going to be a better football team? But wait, Jerry Jones doubles down. Listen to this.
I want our fans to know that I can manage really good. I do real well managing.
He does real well
managing. I know that bank account's full. That doesn't mean you got money. It just means you hadn't paid your bills due 60 days from now. So you got to look around the corner. You got to be good at it, and you got to live with the time that you're looking around the corner. Okay? And so that's what you see here. No apologies. Everybody has to do it. We obviously hadn't done it well enough. I think our first Super Bowls that I was involved in were before the cap. And so we have to do a better job in that area. Can we? You bet you can. You bet you can. Stephen, me, spend a lot of time in this area. And I'm not talking about just sitting there in the office on a chalkboard. I'm talking about 3 o'clock in the morning when you can't sleep.
You bet you can. You bet you can fix this cap. You bet you can. When we won our first Super Bowls 35 years ago, man, there was no cap. What a different game. We also ran the wishbone offense that year. Like, what? If you're a Dallas Cowboys fan, how could you honestly sit at home and listen to that press conference and say, we have the people in place? How? It's impossible. Sitting there, right there, listening to Jerry Jones reminded me of the last 4 years of our country. So I don't know if Jerry Jones should be leading the charge right now for the Dallas Cowboys. But just to further my point, I thought I would let Jerry tell you about what he was thinking this offseason and why, he hired Brian Schottenheimer. And if you're expecting him to talk about his football prowess or the decisions he's going to make on the field for the team, you're very wrong. He's most likely just going to talk about Jerry Jones.
Now, I get my proverbial ass kicked over needing people in my comfort zone. Without this thing being about me in any way, if you don't think I can't operate out of my comfort zone, you're so wrong. It's unbelievable. This is as big a risk as you could take. As big a risk as you could take. No head coaching experience. Now, let me share something with you. With all of that, You've just heard him reference his osmosis, his family. Anybody in this room that doesn't believe the apple doesn't go far from the tree has missed it someplace down the road, especially if there was an effort to make it that way, and there was an effort. But then you go around to the countless numbers of coaches that Shotty has served on staff with and been around, the countless players. How often do you have someone that has 25, I'm going to say 25, it may be 26, of years of working through the human relationship and working, aspiring to learn, of have his ears and eyes wide open and looking for techniques and looking for things that make coaches better.
So, Jerry, what you just described, first off, at the back end of that press conference is every single human being that has had a job for 25 years. Every single human being, whether good or bad at their job for the last 25 years, has had to deal with humans and relationships. That is being a human and having a job. And I'm not going to make this about myself, okay? I'm not going to make this about myself, but I've gotten my proverbial ass kicked here, okay? I'm not going to make it about myself, but I was told I can't go outside the box. So you know what I did? And how about for this vote of confidence for Brian Schottenheimer? I hired this guy, the guy right next to me. He sucks. Yeah, I know. Not a lot of coaching experience. That might as well have been the press conference for Jerry Jones. I would rather Jerry Jones, rather than try and, I don't know what this is, cliche talk me. Is it, I don't understand all of the analogies he's throwing in. Is it that he doesn't know what he's doing, so he's just speaking in analogies? Is it that he's trying to confuse everybody because he wants everyone to feel like he's smarter than everybody else? I don't know. But if you listen to that press conference right there, how could you, as a Dallas Cowboy fan, Dallas Cowboy player, Dallas Cowboy employee, how could you actually believe that the organization is in the right hands and going in the right direction? How? Nothing, no part of that conference gave me any confidence. Actually, I probably am more confident in Brian Schottenheimer's ability to turn this football program around because he's probably sitting there like, okay, I'm going to dominate. I'm going to dominate to literally prove the two people that hired me wrong, because clearly they didn't hire me because they think I'm actually good at this job. They hired me just to piss all you people off in the media or something. There's something there. And then I'm going to get the hell out of here because this is, whoa, I got to Dan Quinn this thing and get the hell out of here and use this for what it is. So interesting situation in Dallas. Give us your thoughts. Michael Day just did on the YouTube. You can comment as well. He said, this guy has worked with humans most of his life. He seems like the right hire. That's right, Mike. That's the line. Jerry went into the hiring process and he's like, here's the deal. Do you breathe? You do. Okay. Have you worked with people before? You have. Okay. Have you ever seen a football? Yes. Oh, okay. Stevie, let's go 3 a.m. tonight. You and I, we'll work on the salary thing, all right, on the chalkboards in our office, because who uses whiteboards in 2025? Or better yet, computers and Excel and programs for all that stuff. But neither here nor there. We'll get chalk, we'll get the whiteboard, and we'll go see if we can get this guy. What is this? Sad in Dallas territory. Very, very sad. If you want to get on the action like Mike, the Rome Show 1, X, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, comment, DM, or go live on the show at YouTube. And you can comment as well. One more for you, and then we're going to hit a commercial break.
Update.
Aaron Glenn was hired as the head football coach of the New York Jetropolitans. Okay. And Darren, I think I'm saying this rightly, Darren Mogi, was hired as the new general manager of the Jetropolitans as well. He was the Broncos assistant general manager, so he is a big part as to the turnaround of the Denver Broncos, the drafting of Bo Nix, and the manipulating of the cap. That really is one of the tougher cap spaces to operate in right now in the National Football League, thanks to the Russell Wilson contract that is now partly in Pittsburgh, that could partly be somewhere L. So a full new regime in New York. When we get back from commercial break, I'm going to show you a few statistics on the Jetropolitans, plus talk Pete Carroll in Las Vegas. And then finally, I got some opinions on Liam Coen, the new head ball coach of Jacksonville. And I got some sound bites from him as well, because talk about the modern day, or the NFL's version, I should say, of Brian Kelly, with the way he left Tampa Bay and headed to Jacksonville. So stick around after the commercial break. We'll talk Aaron Glenn, Pete Carroll, Liam Coen, and make our daily picks here on The Rome Show, 12ozsports.com. Back after this.
Welcome to MyBookie. You're ready to create an account and start making money, and we're here to help. And remember, you can get a bonus of up to $1,000 on your first deposit. Now you're ready to bet. Just go to mybookie.ag, visit the sportsbook, click on your bet, and input the amount you want to risk or win in the bet slip. Yes, it's that easy. Just remember, at MyBookie, you play, you win, you get paid.
Need tickets to that next event? Well, at 12 Ounce Sports, we've got them, with soccer anywhere in the world. Tickets to any venue, any sport. Want to go to NCAA or NFL football matches? We've got them.
Yeah.
Baseball at every level. Every Power 5 matchup is available. Don't forget, costumes and paint are optional. What's that? You want to go to Broadway? We have those too. Want to jam out? Every concert, every artist. That's right, at 12 Ounce Sports, we've got the tickets for less. 12ozsports.com/tickets. That's 12ouncesports.com/tickets.
What's up? Andrew Romanella, The Rome Show, 12ozsports.com. YouTube X. The Rome Show 1, social media, 12OZ Sports social media. Follow us on all of them. We're talking head coaching changes in the National Football League right now. I told you I had a statistic for Aaron Glenn coming back off the break. It's one that everybody should know, but it's arguably the most important statistic that Aaron Glenn will be fighting against in New York, and that is the 14-year playoff drought that the New York Jetropolitans are in right now as a franchise. Have not made the playoffs since 2011, the longest such drought in National Football League currently. Okay? And with a new GM and a new head coach, there comes a lot of change in an organization. And I think what's gone on in the past for the Jets has been, we got a new head coach. We need to go find a quarterback. We need to figure out how we can get somebody in here to develop a quarterback. And I think the reason why Aaron Glenn long-term will be a good hire for the New York Jets is because he's not going to think that way right away. And I don't say that because he's going to neglect the quarterback position or go out and say, we'll take Rex Grossman, right? Or Tim Hasselback. I don't believe that's the case. But I believe Aaron Glenn, kind of like a Mike Vrabel, and anyone else that we've really seen change the culture, Sean McVay in LA, change the culture of an organization. That's what Aaron Glenn is brought in here to do for New York. It's first and foremost create an identity that is not founded in 14 straight years of not making the postseason. Okay. And as a defensive guy, as a guy that has blood in the ground in New York, drafted by the Jetropolitans, I believe they believe that they can do it with him because he knows what it feels like there. He knows how to make it the place that is where people want to go and compete for a championship. Remember, Aaron Glenn, played for Bill Parcells for the New York Jetropolitans at some point in time. Aaron Glenn has been entrenched in the National Football League for majority of his career. And everything you read says the type of person he is will translate very well to the type of culture he can bring into that building. And that's something the Jets have not had in a really long time. Yeah. Doesn't mean that Robert Saleh's a bad guy or this other person was a terrible head coach, or Man Genius, I think, was in that mix as well. You know, there's been so many different people in and out of that building in the last 10, 11 years, Todd Bowles. But doesn't mean that those people were either bad coaches or bad people. Look at the success Todd Bowles is having right now in Tampa Bay. It just wasn't what the Jets needed. The Jets need something that has not been found since Joe Namath. And hopefully Aaron Glenn can do that. We move on. Pete Carroll is the head football coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. If you were wondering at home, Pete Carroll now becomes the oldest head football coach in the NFL at 74 years old. The bottom line in Las Vegas is a lot like what we talked about in New York. They have to create a culture in that building for who the Las Vegas Raiders are going to be. But furthermore, there are so many questions to be answered at so many positions. I think you should start with the best position, Max Crosby. Okay, you should go out and say to yourself, Pete Carroll, let me see if I can patchwork some of this other stuff here. Okay, with some weapons here, maybe some weapons there. I think they have a Jacoby Myers here, some okay pieces on offense. You're gonna have to draft and get some in free agency, but go make an elite level defense. Fall back to the old school when they were the Oakland Raiders and you had psycho people in the Oakland Coliseum going wild, and it was like you did not want to play the Raiders. Okay, that's the identity I would build there. I would go kick it old school. Plus, you already have one of the best defensive players in the game. Go get him another person, make that line elite, build then from the line out. I'd say, you know what? I might keep Aiden O'Connell and then just build an elite offensive line. Go get another quarterback or two that can be in that room that can maybe play for him over him. Maybe I go get Sam Darnold and I would work that way. All right. Similar to what I believe Aaron Glenn needs to do with the Jets. Okay. But so different too, though, because Las Vegas has made a huge organizational change in the last 5 years, and they have really not found themselves in that period. Okay. And it's almost like, no, they're obviously not going to change their colors and their name, but it's almost like they have to create a new Raiders identity along with this version of the Las Vegas Raiders. It's really what Sean McVay did when the Rams moved to LA, right? They changed up the colors of the uniforms a little bit. They kicked it back to the old LA Rams. And now, honestly, you almost feel like it's a completely different franchise than was the franchise in St. Louis. That's the identity, the rebrand of the culture that the Rams did from St. Louis to LA. And I believe Oakland needs to think the same way. And I think Pete Carroll, despite the age on the back of his life card, it has enough energy and can do that for 4 or 5 years before he has to hand the torch maybe to the person that, I don't know if the person that wins the Super Bowls. I don't know if he's Buck Showalter in this example right now, but I think he definitely has the ability. Let's finish here on our last headline of this hump day.
Hump day.
Yep. And we will finish with Liam Coen, the new head football coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars. First and foremost, every day that I hear this man speak, I dislike him more and more. This is how he started his press conference in Jacksonville.
Duval.
Stop it. We'll do that one more time. I know it's very awkward, though, so if you have to look away from the screen, I get it.
Duval.
I just, all right. Yeah, that just sits terribly, okay? And then you start to read how this happened. So let me fill everybody in real quick. Liam Coen was the the offensive coordinator, for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers last year. Okay. Now, let's take you back a quick second to last week. Liam Coen goes to interview for the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jaguars have a different general manager. I think it was Trent Baalke was the GM, interviewing Liam Coen with Saad Khan, their owner. Okay. Liam Coen leaves Jacksonville, I believe it was Tuesday of last week, goes back to Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay then offers him $4 to $5 million a year to stay as the offensive coordinator, which have then made Liam Coen the highest paid coordinator in the National Football League. Okay. Liam Coen on Tuesday night agrees to become the highest paid offensive coordinator in the league. Okay. I believe on Wednesday, they go through and they figure out the contract. While all of that's going on in Tampa Bay, Saad Khan is firing GM Trent Baalke from Jacksonville because he believes Liam Coen is removing his name from the Jacksonville head coaching search because of who the general manager is. Okay. So now we're into Wednesday. There's no general manager for the Jacksonville Jaguars, and presumably coming out of Tampa Bay, Liam Coen is the offensive coordinator, highest paid in the National Football League. Okay. Now, the plan is for Coen to sign the contract on Thursday morning. Thursday morning rolls around. Tampa Bay cannot get a hold of Liam Coen. Okay. 11 o'clock hits. Liam Coen's agent texts the general manager of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, "Yo, we are at an appointment." Come on, dude. What? But nonetheless, Liam Coen spends all day in Jacksonville at his quote unquote appointment up until 9 p.m. at night on Thursday, essentially making him the Jacksonville Jaguars head coach. To go backwards 4 or 5 hours, it wasn't until about 5 p.m. that night on Thursday that Liam Coen let Todd Bowles know that he was going to start considering the Jacksonville Jaguars job. Okay? So, Tuesday night, Liam Coen no longer wants to be in the running for Jacksonville. Middle of the morning Wednesday, Liam Coen talks about being the highest paid OC. Jacksonville has since fired their general manager. Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday evening, Saad Khan calls Liam Coen directly, wants him to come back to interview for Jacksonville. Liam Coen then never tells the Tampa Bay Buccaneers that he's going to Jacksonville to interview for the job. And obviously, the raise in Tampa Bay was contingent on Liam Coen staying and removing his name out of the Jacksonville hat. So now you have a National Football League Brian Kelly, okay? A guy that is a little sketchy on the trust. A guy that's a little sketchy on the do the right thing gene, as long as the right thing works for him, okay? So for 24 hours, Tampa Bay thought they were making an elite offer, a legitimate offer, to make the guy the highest paid offensive coordinator in the league, and I think in the history of the NFL, to remove his name from the search. He essentially lies to them through his agent, goes to Jacksonville, never communicates with Tampa Bay, head ball coach of Jacksonville. Then has the goyons to say this at the press conference.
Going to stay in Tampa for a substantial pay raise. Then you changed your mind, decided to interview here. Could you talk a little bit about what made you change your mind? And was there any, in any way, any misgivings in your mind about changing your mind, not about pursuing a head coaching opportunity?
Thank you, Gene. Look, the opportunity to coach in Tampa was a phenomenal one, to get my feet wet in the NFL as the offensive coordinator, and I thank them so much for that opportunity. As you continue to do more research and gaining more information as you go, it started to become, more clear with every hour that this was an opportunity that you just can't pass up for so many different reasons. and you ultimately want to do truly what's best for you and your family. And that's what this came down to. I will always love and remember those guys in Tampa. My players, those guys, love them to death. But this is an opportunity to also go and do it with some new guys, right? And to go reach and touch people, because that's what coaching and teaching is. And that's what this opportunity is all about. And extremely thankful for that. But head forward, head and eyes up, and we're moving forward.
Just to be clear, did this have anything to do with the change in the front office structure?
This was completely about an opportunity to work for an owner and a group of people with a group of players that needed some help. And that's what coaching is, right? That's what coaching is all about, is trying to go help people and be around people. So, no, that was not the.
Really? That wasn't the factor? So 36 hours after you removed your name from the head coaching search, most likely because A, you wanted to get paid, and B, you didn't really like what was going on in Jacksonville. The man calls and says, I'll give you more money. I'll fire the GM. You can help me with that search. Why don't you come back? Okay. So it was about that. Okay. Just be honest about it, because we're all not idiots out here, man. Okay. And just address the elephant in the room. I love this. Eyes forward, head forward, eyes forward. How about, listen, some things changed over the last 48 hours. And originally when I came here, the situation did not look as clear as it has looked today. And my situation in Tampa Bay couldn't be more thankful. I am so appreciative for those guys. I truly wish this last 48 hours could have happened completely differently. And I'm going to spend some time on the phone with some of those guys, thanking them and apologizing for the way this process went down, because it was no disrespect to them and their organization. But at the end of the day, as me and Mr. Coen here started to talk about this opportunity in the way that I didn't see a few days ago when I thought about removing my name, I realized I missed something here. And I need to really sit back down in this organization and see what this offer is all about. And here we are. The head ball coach at Jacksonville. I'm really excited to move forward as the head football coach. That's it. How does me, Division III baseball coach in Northwestern New Jersey, know exactly what to say in the presser, and you, the dude that's supposed to be gaining respect from men in the locker room who have families, can't even give an honest response? And also, by the way, to finish, I'm over these coaches giving me coach speak like I'm 10 years old. I can handle coach speak, okay? I can't handle childish coach speak. And that's what coaching is, man. Coaching is helping people. And I just came here to help people. I'm here to help people. That's all I'm here for. That's what coaching is, right? That's what it is. It's helping people. So I'm here to help people. Like, what? Like, dude, let's chill for a quick second and just be a human and talk to me real. Okay. And then finally, I got 30 more seconds of Liam Coen to explain to you why he's Brian Kelly. And I don't believe this is going to work out in Jacksonville. And if it does work out, I'll be the first to eat my own words. I just don't believe that somebody that operates like this, much like we've seen with Brian Kelly at LSU, you come in without 100% honesty and trust, it's really hard for you to gain 100% honesty, trust, and respect from the players in your organization. He said this, though.
That's really what this is going to come down to, is honesty. I want to surround ourselves with people that are going to be able to tell you hard truths, be able to show you your blind spots, because that's really, like I mentioned, where growth occurs, when you can truly be yourself and be honest with looking in the mirror, knowing that process to get you there was clean and it was right, and the results will speak for themselves.
So it comes down to honesty, but you couldn't be honest with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers that on Thursday morning, instead of driving into their facility to sign your new contract, you were driving to Jacksonville to have your second interview that you told them you weren't going to have for the head coaching position. So you want to build a foundation of honesty and trust, yet you haven't done that yet to this moment. And I'll never understand how people like this continue to get hired. You are openly trying to pretend like we're all idiots. We're not idiots. Okay? We see what's going on here, but yet this guy's the head football coach in Jacksonville, and Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones are running the Dallas Cowboys. Wild. I think 2025 fall, it is going to be elite. All right, let's finish here real quick. We have, and I'm just going to quick this. We had a 2-1 night last night. The Ducks plus 1.5 nailed it. They won 6-4. Ovi did not record a point, had 4 shots, and the Caps won 3-1. And the Jets, they won on the money line. Tonight, I'm going to go with basketball. We have the Warriors at plus 10.5 versus the Thunder. The Thunder are on the road. They obviously been playing great basketball all year, but with the Warriors at home, chance to cover. I think that number is just a little bit big. Will the Thunder win? Yes. Will they win by more than 5 points? Probably, but I don't think they'll win by 11. So give me the Warriors at plus 10.5. I got the Bulls in the same situation. The Celtics have not been playing their best basketball the last 3 weeks, almost like a 500 record. The Bulls aren't great either, but I don't believe that in this moment, with the way the Celtics are playing, that they are 15 points worse than them. So I'll take the Bulls at the plus 14.5. And then finally, I'm going to take Cleveland minus 7.5 against Miami. Miami's got issues. I don't trust it. Cleveland's good. I trust them and Donovan Mitchell. Those are our daily bananas. That's the Rome Show. 12ozesports.com. Broadcasting live on YouTube, X, Roku TV. Back tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Andrew Romanella saying, have an electric day, and peace.
Thank you for listening.